Alright, folks. Hello. Welcome to the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. I'm John. With me this week is Solon, back from PAX.
Oh, I just got back. I've been walking from the convention center back home, and so it just took like an extra week and a half to get home.
No, it sounds like you needed an extra week and a half to, like, I was going to say recover, but
yeah,
you've been busy still with, like, school and stuff, so I don't even...
we'll talk more about PAX stuff, but just logistically, on my side of things, it went Thursday PAX, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. The Tuesday following that was the day before the first day of school. So that was the one day that I have to set up for the first week of school. And so not only do I not like have recovery time, but like I was also hosting people that whole time.
Oh boy.
So like after being out of the world in PAX world for a week, that also meant that I had all of the other responsibilities that like a normal person does when they leave the entire plane of existence for a week. So like I had to, meet up with family again and, do all my house chores for the month, the big stuff. And so it was just like no rest, none. So yeah, it did take an extra week to not only recover from that, but also like, holy crap, school is back. That's what I've been up to though.
All right, and we do also have someone else on here. Lorelai, you're here. You're back.
I am here, and I am really excited to talk about games this week.
Of course. It's always
we're
nice
like holding you down, like to make sure you don't float away.
Yeah. It's been a couple of days.
I mean, let's be honest here. It is basically been E3 2 this past week. Like, we had D23 was a bit ago, and then we had the fucking Nintendo Direct and the Sony State of Play, and then there's been TGS, and just... it's a lot.
It's been a hell of a 2 weeks for games being announced.
Yeah, it's been kind of overwhelming. But I'd say this week was a bit more exciting than last week. Like, I'll be honest, because like,
oh yeah,
it's been more stuff that I care about.
Yep. A lot of people. There's a lot of people that are caring about a lot of this stuff that's coming out this week.
Right.
It's just been pure joy.
I think we could just get, because honestly, I feel like the news is going to take up a good chunk of this. Like, Solon, you're going to want to talk about PAX, and there were some other games that are going on. But let's hop into the news first, because there's a lot. I'm just going to say we're going to open up with all these announcements, all this, like, the rundown of all this stuff, and then we'll get to everything else. And also, I'm just going to say, let's not sit on stuff too long again, because again, this is a lot.
Yep.
So
I'm ready. I've got games coming in from all sides. I've got my hands up. I'm going to deflect the bullets. Like, let's go.
All right. So we'll start with the Direct. It was holy shit. There was a lot.
Good place to start.
Yeah. So I'm just going to read off of the IGN article here. It's got pretty much everything on it. So I'll just hit it as they listed it. Yeah, they closed it out. We're starting at the end here. With the Breath of the Wild sequel, now officially called The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. They apparently had to come out and say specifically it is tears, not tears. It's kind of crazy.
That's a good distinction. Yeah.
It's
They're not doing one of those like double meaning types of things.
It's coming out May 12th next year. They showed a little bit of gameplay with Link up in the sky, flying around on a stone bird of some sort. And that's kind of it. But it's real. It's coming out next year.
Everything about it just feels so much better now that it has an official title and it's not Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Because I don't want Breath of the Wild 2. I've never wanted Breath of the Wild 2. I feel like that's a disservice to the Zelda franchise to do a sequel like that about such an open world game. Having an actual title feels, more grounded, even if it's the exact same, even if it still is.
I was going to say, it is basically still Breath of the Wild 2 is the thing.
But it's called Tears of a Kingdom. That name goes hard.
And that is also probably why they had to, quote unquote, had to not show it live in the UK because they don't want to ruffle any feathers with regards to the Queen dying not too long ago.
Oops,
Very funny.
You're right.
Very funny.
God, they have a queen. They had a queen.
Yeah. Next up, we have here, they announced Pikmin 4, which, I'm very excited about. But the announcement was pretty funny, honestly, because, they wheeled Miyamoto out, as they are to do. And he started off just by being like, oh, hey, the Mario movie is still happening. We're not going to show it, though, but it's still happening. And then he sat there and he talked about Pikmin Bloom, the mobile game, for 3 minutes. And was just really obviously super excited about that. And then just kind of went, oh, and we're making Pikmin 4. Yeah, we're doing that, I guess.
I don't know, there was something so joyful about how much he wanted you to play Pikmin Bloom. Please go outside. Please walk around with Pikmin. I promise you're gonna like it.
Please literally touch grass.
No.
And make grass grow by touching grass.
No.
I wanna... Aww.
You can do it. I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, I'm not either.
There's something surreal. There's something weird about seeing Miyamoto obviously late to a trend. Not only jumping on a, bandwagoning on this ARG mobile game thing that Pokemon Go revolutionized, but to be this far behind, but still want to just really get in there for it. It's there he is. And then he's got a t-shirt. He made a shirt and he's so proud of the shirt that he made.
You can buy the shirt that just has the P on it.
It just has a P on it. Not excited at all for Pikmin 4. That's the gears of capitalism turning. Miyamoto doesn't care about that. It's been there before. Whatever. The fourth one, who cares? But Pikmin Bloom.
This is just especially funny though because they've been making Pikmin 4 for a very long time. Miyamoto had said back in 2015, this is going to be 8 years after he said this, that it was close to completion. So something must have happened. But yeah, it's coming out next year. 8 years after it was supposed to be almost done. For sure. We get Fire Emblem Engage, the new Fire Emblem mainline game. You play as a fucked up character called Alir, who has red and blue hair, and everyone calls the male version Pepsi-chan and or Pepsi-kun, and the female version Colgate-chan, because they sure do look like Pepsi and Colgate. And the gimmick of this game, because Fire Emblem Heroes is Nintendo's biggest mobile game, is that you can summon characters from previous Fire Emblem games. And you wear an engagement ring, and that's why it's called Engage. And you use the ring to summon them.
Oh, you're engaged to your history, your lineage of heroes.
I guess so. And they showed Marth and Celica and a bunch of the other Fire Emblem lords. And I know that they're doing this because of Heroes, because they showed some of the lords with weapons that they only had as alternate characters in Heroes. They showed Ike with an axe. And he has an axe in Heroes, and Lucina with a bow, and she has a bow in Heroes.
Yeah, that's wild, huh?
Yeah. So from what leaks have shown, because this game actually leaked a couple of months ago, this has been done for a while, and they've just been kind of sitting on it. So I don't know. It's coming out January 20th of next year. It's not too far out.
They've got 3 or 4 of these Fire Emblems just sitting, waiting with different protagonists with wild branded hair, and you joke, just waiting for the time to put them out.
You joke, but that's probably legitimately true.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fire Emblem feels like the factory farm of video games.
It's weird because there aren't actually that many of them. Fire Emblem 3 Houses was 4 years ago?
Yeah, it's not like it's been super quick.
like I don't know. I was like watching the trailer for this one. I was like, oh, that doesn't look appealing. And then I actually watched a bunch of the actual gameplay stuff they showed, and now I'm actually kind of excited for it.
I mean, it looks fine. It looks like a Fire Emblem. Sure. I might get it. I like Three Houses well enough. They're doing a remake, I guess. Yeah, remake of Kirby's Return to Dreamland, which some of you might be like, "Dang, already? That's a 12-year-old game."
That is a 12-year-old game.
I guess 11 now, and it'll be 12 years old when it comes out. So it'll be next year. And they redesigned. The Wii
was a long time ago.
They redesigned King Dedede. He's in his Forgotten Land design.
Surely you, Justin.
I'm not.
This is exciting to me because Return to Dreamland is my favorite Kirby game. When we played every single one of those a few months back, like that was the one that came out and like screamed high quality, the future of the franchise. Like you can go play that right now and it'll feel like it just came out. It's kind of an incredible work.
Mm-hmm. I'm a little surprised that you didn't like Robobot as the best.
Robot, no, it is incredible. Look, we're talking about the bests. This is a franchise of greatness. It's not like, Robobot's far behind at all or anything. It's just Return to Dreamland. It's the classic, but it's also the future. Sure. Like it just, you play that and you can understand everything about Kirby in one game.
Sure. They did say that there's going to be a new copy ability. Let me see what exactly it was. Mecha Kirby. Yeah, you get like a mecha
there you go.
suit. Yeah. And then you can also play it just as 4 Kirbys instead of like Kirby, Waddle Dee, Meta Knight, and DDD. There's new mini games, and that's it's a pretty basic remake, but I feel like Return to Dreamland was. Now, you said you really liked it when you played through all of them, but that game came out like right at the tail end of the Wii's life, and I don't think it really got its due. So, yeah, I think now it'll be able to get played by more people. People will be able to appreciate it more. Definitely sell better on the Switch, because anything gets put on the Switch, it immediately sells a quadrillion copies. Yeah, I'm sure people will like it.
And hopefully some online, if that's kind of been the trend for these Kirby games.
That would be nice. We got Octopath Traveler 2, which is honestly pretty surprising. I would not have expected them to announce a new Octopath Traveler.
Really? What?
At least not so soon. At least not so soon. Like, because they got Triangle Strategy pretty recently, and
their mobile Octopath Traveler just came out, which is like really good for a mobile game. But
yeah, and didn't that team work on the Live remake, or at the very least they it was the 2D 3D whatever the fuck they're called?
No, it's just the same art style.
Okay, all right.
But they did have Various Day Life as well, God. Which was also part of this direct.
I'm sorry for saying that, but like, jeez, the fucking name. Oh my God. When I heard that name, I just like I had to sit there for a little bit. I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So because that was part of the direct, I'm just going to talk about it really quick, because I really quickly want to talk about it, because that's all the time that game is worth. I saw it. I was like, oh, this looks like Fantasy Life. I loved Fantasy Life. No, this is an iPhone game that they just brought over to PC and Switch. The PC version of it, I returned almost instantly because it took me 45 minutes to get a controller working. It is mediocre at best. It is definitely a phone game. And it does not capture the Fantasy Life vibe I was looking for. I would say don't buy it at $26 on the Switch. It's not worth that. If you get the PC version, you can get it with the PC release of Triangle Strategy, and it only costs $3. That might be worth it, but definitely not 26. Yeah, so that was also part of the Nintendo Direct, but I just want to say I played that and it sucked.
All right.
Sorry, yeah, you brought up all of those games all at the same time. They have the same like title screen gimmick in all these directs, and they have a similar style and look.
Yeah, they have the same fucking like font for the titles, and
but it's you're right, John. That it is bizarre how all of these games are coming out. It's like ostensibly by the same team or something, but I don't even know if that's true. They come from a weird, mysterious, like quasi place where the quality is completely variable. The style is always the same, but all the game like types are very different. Mm-hmm. It's perplexing. And yeah, you're right that Octopath Traveler 2 being announced now, I'm so excited for. I loved the first one, but it does seem recent compared to all of their other stuff. They've been hyping up Octopath Traveler with other like types of releases for the last 2 years.
I don't want to be mean here for those of you that really like Octopath, but it really seemed like that font and that like naming structure was the signifier of this is going to be a kind of mid experience. This is like this is going to be like a bona fide classic. This is going to be like a B tier RPG that some people are going to dig, some people aren't.
Yep.
And like, yeah, that's how it was with Octopath. Like, I feel like with Octopath, it was like some people really liked it, some people just did not. Triangle Strategy, I felt like kind of just everyone kind of bounced off of. I didn't really hear anything good about.
Which was a completely different game.
Yeah, which, again, like that is a different genre, that is a different type of game. But it's also just like, yeah, people were like, oh, Square Enix is doing a tactics game. I want to play. I like, that is an exciting prospect for people who like Final Fantasy Tactics. And they didn't do Tactics Ogre, right?
No.
Okay. Well, no, they did Tactics Ogre.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, they did. Okay, I just checked. They published it at the very least. It was developed by Quest Corporation, but still, like Square Enix and Tactics kind of implies a sense of quality, and here it just didn't really match it. And then same thing with this Various Day Life, like you said, Lorelei. It sounds like it is. They are dipping their toes into this like farming sim kind of dealio, like fantasy life type thing, and it just doesn't really match up to a high quality mark.
Oh no, it's a turn-based RPG when you get out into battle, and like it's with like, oh, you can level up through crafting, but you're locked to specific things depending on what your class is. Okay. So it's not even like the fantasy life where I could go do everything if I wanted to, like, and still get all the way through the game, even if I didn't want to touch the battle system. Whereas, no, this is just, it is an Apple Arcade game that feels like an Apple Arcade game, but not a good Apple Arcade game. But it's so disappointing.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see. I mean, again, I'm sure that this game will be, will be more accepted because, yeah, like I was saying, like Octopath 1 was at the very least, like it was a little divisive, but I feel like it had way more fans and was way more memorable for people than the rest of the games that this team has made. So at the very least, a sequel to that is probably a more exciting prospect.
I'm looking forward to new characters. I'm looking forward to... I need the battle system to develop further in the late game because I think Octopath Traveler had a almost perfect battle system. The way that they kind of built off of... Similar to like Bravely Default's battle system, but it doesn't have longevity after hour 40, which is a huge ask. And that was part of when I reviewed it. What I talked about was like, the battle system falls off after 40 hours. It's awesome. And then you're like, all right, I've hit the end.
Yep.
So there's room to grow for a sequel.
And all the stuff after you've finished the main stories is so extraneous, it's bad.
What? No, I loved it.
Oh, all the post-game stuff was terrible.
Oh, I thought it was so bizarre and cool, and the idea was that it put together all of their stories, all these octopathic travelers, but it didn't put them together at all. It walked a really surreal line, and then gave you cosmic horror. I thought it was very cool, and I couldn't beat it because the final boss was too hard.
All right. Well, yeah, they showed some gameplay footage of Bayonetta 3. I did not watch it because I already know that I'm going to buy it, so I'm not going to sit there and watch a bunch of gameplay. But folks said that it looked good. October 28th, that is next month. That is coming up. That's kind of scary when you think about it.
You know who didn't show footage of Bayonetta 3? PAX. It was the funniest booth in the entire expo hall. Was that there was 300 square yards of Splatoon 3, and then outside of the expo hall there was one photo booth where you could take an image on a green screen. You could take a picture of yourself on a green screen, and that was the Bayonetta 3 booth.
All right.
No gameplay, no trailers running on TVs, nothing. Just a green screen in an empty hallway.
That seems like PAX.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got a new Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm game, which, hey, I'm not a big Final Fantasy head, but I fucking love Theater Rhythm. That is such a fun rhythm game. This one's called Final Bar Line, which, again, I think it's really funny that they keep, giving names to these games that make them sound like this is going to be the last one. The last one is called Curtain Call, and this one is Final Bar Line. Just you're going to keep making these. Don't do this. There will be 385 new songs. Or no, 385 songs in total. With 90 new songs. 2-player local and 4-player online. Okay, I have to actually finish reading paragraphs before I read this. Okay, I'm sorry. The game will have 385 songs standard, and then there will be a season pass that adds 90 new songs. Okay,
that's
there we
470.
Go. That's a lot of songs.
Too many.
To be fair, all the season pass songs are from non-Final Fantasy stuff. So it's all it's Nier and Live Alive and
Octopath.
Yeah.
That rocks.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, they are going to add new songs because in between the Curtain Call game and this one, there have been quite a few Final Fantasies. I think 15 and a bunch of the 14 expansions have come out. And I mean, I'm sure that there will probably be another. I mean, maybe the season pass will focus on non-Final Fantasy songs, but I would not be too surprised if maybe in the future they don't add some songs from 16.
Yeah.
Why the hell not? But yeah, that's coming out February 16th of next year. Sounds pretty tight. Again, I fucking love the well, I don't know about the original, but Curtain Call, I really like that game a lot. So I'm excited for this. I'm very excited.
I still sometimes play that game.
No, I mean, I'm honestly probably gonna pop it in because we just talked about it. I'm probably gonna play it before I go to work because it's great. I played the arcade version too. The arcade version's fucking cool.
The mobile version's pretty good too.
There is a mobile version.
Although that one's hey, you get 20 songs and then you want to pay for a bunch more?
I mean, I kind of do. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So we got a big ol' N64 update for the Switch Online. They're adding Pilot Wings 64, the first 3 Mario parties, 1080 snowboarding, Excite Bike 64, Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, and GoldenEye 007.
That's a reasonable amount of games. Now we're starting to get
GoldenEye with online support.
So here's the thing. I'm going to kind of run this through. So GoldenEye is also getting added to Xbox Game Pass, and the version on Game Pass is going to be a 4K upres. But the thing with the version on the N64 Online, it technically has online capabilities because the N64 app, the Switch Online app, just has that built into it. The Xbox thing does not. So, it's kind of this thing where it does have online capabilities exclusive to the Switch version, but that's just because their emulator has it built in.
Oh, cool. That's wild.
Yeah. Which, some people were like being excited that Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 were on there. And something to point out for that is that you can't transfer Pokemon. So there are actually like straight up large swaths of those games that you just cannot access because you can't transfer Pokemon into them. So, it's basically just going to be rental battles and the mini games. Which, you know what? After they announced those, my timeline had a bunch of people just going, "Oh my god, the Pokemon Stadium mini games!" So,
yeah, those were substantial.
It was worth it for some people. And I mean, the rental battles can be fun too. You want to hear the announcer saying all of his crazy shit. Just I have just dropped the announcer's lines in the side tube before, and people are just like, "Oh, that's great," just hearing the guy say, "What's the matter, trainer?" Like you gotta love it.
You gotta love it.
Really, like a really solid swath of N64 games, though.
That's a library.
Yeah, we're getting there. I would say we're getting there.
And honestly, that's a wider, more loved library than a lot of the others. So you can really see that they are putting a lot of backing behind this N64 expansion to the NSO.
Yeah, like I would say, like the N64 is definitely a far weaker console than the NES and the Super Nintendo, like overall. But they are absolutely getting the best of the N64 games on there instead of just being like, how many caveman games can we put on the Super Nintendo Online?
Right. Exactly.
They're putting in the effort. Like, they got GoldenEye. They got fucking GoldenEye on there. That's impressive. And, there are a couple of games that would be very difficult to get, but are, I feel like, N64 staples. Like, it would be super impressive and very cool if they, for example, got like Rogue Squadron on there or something. Like that is definitely something that would be super awesome, and it would feel essential. Because hey, guess what? Rogue Squadron is fucking great, and it's one of the good N64 games. And
did they say they were getting Racer on there? Star Wars pod racing one?
Well, no.
No.
But I mean, I will also say that I think some things that might throw a wrench into that is that if I remember correctly, actually, I think they might have actually just ported Rogue Squadron. Now that I think about it,
that's yeah. That's what I'm getting confused with. I think they did that with Star Wars Racer also.
Yeah, I think there is a Switch cartridge out there that just has Rogue Squadron and Racer on it. So ignore me then, because I think you can just get it anyway.
We solved the puzzle.
Yeah, we figured it out. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion is out December 13th.
Woohoo!
That's Switch and a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, Gongaga is here. It's coming out at the end of the year. They announced 2 of the tracks that are going to be in Wave 3 of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Booster Course. That'll be, let me see here. It is Merry Mountain from Mario Kart Tour and Peach Gardens from Mario Kart DS. I have not played Mario Kart Tour, but Peach Gardens is a fantastic stage. That is a really good stage from DS, so that's a good pull. Switch Sports is going to get the golf update this holiday. Again, pretty crazy that it didn't launch with golf, but because like I forget who said it on Twitter, but someone like mentioned like golf feels like the quintessential Nintendo sport, and that is true. Like when you think of Nintendo sports, it's like golf and tennis, but golf is like
I was going to say bowling actually.
What, for Nestor's Funky Bowling?
No, for the bowling minigame in Wii Sports.
I'm talking about history, though. Like, you think about, like, there's NES Golf, and then you've had Mario Golf on, like, every console. And, yeah, like, you also get tennis as well, but golf was a big deal before tennis. Like, they put you played as Mario in Mario Golf. Mario was just a cameo in tennis. You know, like, you played as Mario in, like, NES Open Golf, all that shit. So, it definitely...
Just saying, bowling heads are rising up in the Wii generation, you know?
That's
almost
true.
overtook all of it.
bowling is in Switch Sports already, so that's why. But that's why it's just like surprising that golf wasn't in already, because yeah, like I said, golf is really quintessential. It was in Wii Sports as well, like, and I feel like that it was also really popular in Wii Sports. You know, like yeah, bowling was probably the most popular Wii Sports game, but you know, I
love this idea that you're bringing up that Wii Sports is panning to the reactionary audience of the late Queen of England by including bowling, but not golf. They're not looking at their roots, their history. They're not respecting the classics.
They need to respect the classics. But yeah, it says it'll be 21 holes, and there will be 8-player survival golf as well as regular online play, and it's a free update. So, you know.
Yeah, now it's back. They figured it out.
It's back. Mario Strikers Battle League is going to get 2 new characters, Pauline and Diddy Kong, as well as new gear and stadiums and all that stuff. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the first wave of DLC is going to add a new character called Ino, who is a robot girl, and she seems... I'm sorry, everyone, I'm going to go Xenoblade Inside Baseball, for the next few minutes, this is just going to be a different language. So Ino seems to have a skill set that is similar to Poppy from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where you could like input different you would grind out these like power-ups and boosts and then slot them into different slots into her, basically, and you could just completely change what type of character she was. Like, you could just make her be a fire type or an earth type or a water type. And, you know, like, because every other blade in the game would be specifically that type. But you could basically just give Poppy any build you wanted. And the other cool thing, though, is that, like, Poppy had 3 different forms. So after, like, you know, about, like, 2/3 of the way through the game, you were just able to create 3 different like custom blades, basically, if you had Tora in your party. So you would just be able to like kit her out however you wanted. So Ino, I don't think Ino's going to have the 3 different forms, but she seems to be just able to kit her out how you want, which seems pretty cool. It's going to have new quests because new heroes have quests for you to complete before you can add them to your party. And there will also be new outfits like swimsuits and challenge battles, which are just going to be more difficult fights for you to take on to unlock those outfits. That's going to be October 13th. And there's going to be 2 more expansions after that. There's going to be another one that is similar to this one, where it's going to be a new hero. And then there's going to be the final update, which... they haven't really confirmed exactly what it'll be, but it just says like a story expansion. And for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that was the Torna expansion, which was that gigantic, basically brand new game expansion that they put out. So that's probably what it's going to be. So you know, like they're gonna put out these DLCs, like these new heroes and stuff, in the next few months, probably. But that last thing is probably going to be like a year or more out, because that is going to be a new game. So that's going to be a while. But I am excited for this because I am deep into Xenoblade 3. For a little bit there, I was a little worried that maybe I would be done with the game and then I would have to like swoop back around to play these with these new heroes. But I don't think that's going to be the case, because I'm 40 hours in and I don't think I'm very far.
What chapter are you on?
I think I'm on 4.
Yeah, I got to chapter 4 at 87 hours, so like it just depends on how much side stuff you're doing.
I'm doing like all the side stuff, but you know, I don't know.
I did all the side stuff that's like supposed to be side stuff in like chapter 6, I'm guessing, because I'm still also only in chapter 4.
I mean, I did return to an older colony and unlocked a bunch of very low level quests that I was supposed to do earlier. So I'm probably gonna have to go back to a bunch of stuff, which like I'll be able to clear it faster because I'm like level 46 now.
Yeah.
But God, that game is so fucking good.
It's
Holy shit.
It's so good. It has no business being this good. Like, keep going back to it.
I'm gonna say it has that business being good because Monolith Soft fucking rocks. Like, legit. Like, they have rocketed up to being one of my favorite developers ever. Like, this is... I fucking love their stuff. We got new Splatoon 3 updates, you know. They announced the first Splatfest, which will be... The three choices are, out of these three, which would you rather have on a deserted island? Gear, grub, or fun? And
wait, you need grub to live. What? You need to eat.
So Shulis did ask us this. Shulis did ask and say, what's your team?
Oh, okay.
For the Splatfest. And if this does sway you at all, if I remember correctly, I think Gear is the blue character. I don't remember their name. And then Grub is the orange character, and Fun is Big Man. I know Big Man's name. I know Big Man because everyone loves Big Man. But you know, that if that sways you, there you go. I'm gonna go. My choice is Gear, because listen, you show up there at first with some food, you don't know how long you're gonna be there. If you come prepared with Gear, you can more easily find food and be prepared for the long haul. That is my choice.
Oh, you're right. That's the Survivor meta. Shoot, you're right.
Not only that, with Gear, you can get all three because you got the gear to be able to get the food, but also fishing can be kind of fun.
Or you could like chop down a tree and whittle the wood to make a wooden Nintendo Switch and pretend to play Splatoon 3.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Fun fact, the other two band members are named Shiver and Fry.
Okay.
Which I learned that a group of sharks is called a shiver, and a group of eels, or is a swarm or a fry of eels.
Huh.
Yeah.
I did not know that, but thank you for letting me know.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. Stupid announcement. They're doing cloud versions of Resident Evil 7, 2, 3, and Village. Don't play those. Just don't do it.
God, the cloud versions are so... I mean, they probably work fine if you're wired in, but, like, good God.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I will say they actually are more stable than PS Now.
Sure. I did just realize we're about 40 minutes in, so I'm gonna speed this up.
You got it.
Yeah. We got a remake of Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. That's a Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life. And they did add that you will be able to play as they have added the option to play as a non-binary character, and you will also be able to marry whoever you want, basically. So you know, you can have gay marriage, or you know, if whatever you want to do. It is more open. Yes.
You choose your it's not just being non-binary, it's you choose your pronouns, so you can be the male character that like model that uses she her pronouns.
Okay.
So it's full on like
customizable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good. That's good. That's coming out summer of next year. They announced a shit ton of farming stuff. They announced another one called Fae Farm. That's going to have more like magic elements, up to 4 players. That's going to, I don't see a release date, but sure. And then there was Harvestella, which is, the Square Enix farming game, another one that is coming out November 4th. And there was a demo. You did play the demo, Lorelai, if you want to talk about that real quick.
You get 15 days or 2 chapters, which the second chapter ends right when you finish the boss of the big dungeon they let you have access to. Mm-hmm. So do what I did and just get to the point of the dungeon where you get up to the boss, and then go farm for 14 days, and then go finish the boss. But it's really fun. I think it's pretty good. I would wait for the PC version, because the Switch version has the same problem that Rune Factory 5 had, which was it does not run great. It runs a little better than Rune Factory 5 did, but it's not a great experience as a smooth running game. But all in all, really good. Writing is pretty good. It's pretty story heavy for the first couple of days before it lets you really just get going and exploring things. But I am quite enjoying my time. It's another good Rune Factory like with a Square Enix battle, job system.
Okay. Speaking of Rune Factory, they did announce that they are remaking Rune Factory 3. It's coming out next year. And they are also making a new Rune Factory. Pretty much all my Harvest Moon heads on Twitter were like, oh shit, Rune Factory 3, hell yes, that game was insane, and just posted a bunch of the dialogue from that game, and it was all completely off the shits.
Yep.
So, yeah, I might actually have to check that one out, because that seemed pretty funny. We got Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse remake. That was a Wii game that came out in 2008, never came out over here. It's coming out over here now. And that's the one that Grasshopper developed. So Suda51 had a go at the Fatal Frame series. I will say, funnily enough, one of the big story for that I recall is that Suda is a gigantic scaredy cat apparently, and when one of the Fatal Frame directors came in and was talking to him about it, the Fatal Frame director mentioned that there was probably a ghost in Grasshopper's offices, so Suda bolted out and immediately hired a medium to exorcise the spirits in the office.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. Which, again, though, it's pretty interesting that, someone who is a scaredy cat made a horror game, and, that seems like a really interesting way to tackle that. Someone who doesn't really like horror making a horror game.
Guess he would know best what makes people uncomfortable, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Tunic is coming to Switch. That is September 27th of this year, or so I guess in a week and a half, basically. That's nice. That's nice. It Takes Two is coming out on Switch in November. That's gonna have the free buddy pass, the friend pass, to let you play. One person buys a game, the other person can just play it. They don't have to pay as well. Sifu is coming out November 8th on Switch. That's the kung fu game. You go around and beat the shit out of people, and if you lose, you get older. We got Front Mission remakes. They showed a little bit of Front Mission 1 and 2, the remakes for those. The first game will come out in November, the second one will be 2023, and they confirmed that a remake of the third one is also happening. So boom, 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 just Front Mission, Front Mission, Front Mission. Atelier Ryza 3 was announced. That'll be in early next year on, February 24th. And for everyone keeping track, the funniest image of the Direct, at least in my opinion, was the picture where an artist measured Ryza's thighs in comparison to her head, and for Ryza 1 it was 60% of her head, for Ryza 2 it was 75, and now for Ryza 3 it is 90. Her thighs are almost as big as her head. So they know what's up. They know what's up. Although straight up though, I will say the game looks really slick. The combat and the menus and everything just looks really nice. They really did put a lot of effort into it. So I'm looking forward to it. I've played a bit of the first Ryza game and it's pretty cool. And I would love to, I got to pick up 2. And I definitely want to pick up 3 because these are good games. They're horny, but they're fun. They're legit fun RPGs. They're good crafting RPGs.
I'm still thinking about the arms race for the thigh game.
If they make a fourth one, we're just gonna have to see. We are just gonna have to see. Tales of Symphonia Remastered is happening. That'll be early next year. That's a pretty cool get, although I will say some people are a bit upset because it seems like it is based on a previous PC port, and it runs at 30 frames per second, and while it did run at 60 on the GameCube.
Yep.
I'm down to, downgrade a little bit to play on a portable, but at the same time, fuck GameCube.
Yeah, that's kind of a hard part because GameCube is pretty easy to get access to nowadays. On your PC, like you don't have to make that compromise. So why would folks?
Yeah. Here we go, folks. I'm ready to get hurt again. Master Detective Archives Rain Code.
Yo.
This is the new game from the creators of Danganronpa. Like, it's 2Kyo Games, it's Kodaka, and Spike Chunsoft. It's got Masafumi Takada doing the music. It looks really good. Coming out next year. I'm ready.
That was a really good get, just right in the middle of this direct, like, hey, here's something completely different. Yeah. That some people are just going to completely gloss over. Other people like us are going to be like, "Oh, this is the game of the." There we go. That's for us. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm ready to be hurt again, folks. They showed a little bit more of SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake. That is the new THQ Nordic SpongeBob game. We already talked about Rune Factory and Various Day Life. Radiant Silvergun came out on Switch and other consoles as well. That is that's a game by Treasure. That is a Treasure shmup. Very good game. I did see that it got taken down off the eShop for a hot minute, but I think it's back up. I don't know. There must have been some kind of bug or something. But it's out. Play Radiant Silvergun on Switch. Factorio is getting released on Switch. I mention this because, again, I am not fully up to date on this. There may have been some more, some changes. Some things have changed in the future, perhaps. But I did see that the creator of Factorio might be a dickhead. So maybe look into that. Like, might be a right wing fucker. So look into that perhaps. But if things are different, I don't know what that is, coming out October 28th. Make your choice. It's up to you. Ebe is getting ported to Switch. Very funny. That is one of the classic RPG Maker PC games, such as Yume Nikki and all that sort of thing. A lot of people.
Ib. That one.
Ib. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah. I guess I've just never heard it pronounced out loud, but you're so right.
But yeah, that's coming out on Switch. That's pretty funny. Just like seeing the official Nintendo YouTube post a trailer for Ebe is very funny.
Yes. That was like an out of body experience I was having while watching the direct. Like, wait, that Ib? That you mean what? Wait,
that one? Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
Let's see here. There's Oddballers, which is a like a dodgeball game. They showed Just Dance. Endless Dungeon is a procedurally generated roguelike set in space, sure. And then, legit, probably the most insane game they showed was Fitness Boxing: Fist of the North Star, which is coming out March 2023. It is one of the, it is one of those fitness boxing games, the ones that have been pretty popular on Switch. But your instructor is Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star, or maybe some of the other Fist of the North Star characters. They showed Ken mostly. And you're doing punches to work out, and when you finish a round, you do your you do all your punches. And from what I saw, the Japanese subtitle of the game is "You have already lost weight."
That trailer was unhinged.
Yeah, they straight up showed like the fitness instructor lady like getting teleported into the wasteland, and Kenshiro like coming up and just being like, "Don't worry, I'm going to protect you, and also we're going to do fitness." And as you're doing the punches, there will just be like cut-ins of like they show the fitness instructor lady like in the Fist of the North Star style, like doing a reaction, and they show like fucking what's his name? Oh my god. Like just all the other characters, they just show the characters like reacting to you working out. It's very funny. It looks very cute. So yeah, that'll probably get some folks to work out a little bit because they want Kenshiro to be proud of them. And you know what? So do I. I want Ken to be proud of me too.
Aww.
So, real quick, what were the things that you liked the most from the Direct? Solon, you go first.
Sure. Mine is really Octopath Traveler 2 was the one that spoke out to me the most. I just feel like there's so much that can be said inside of that game's universe, and a sequel is just perfectly timed, where I'm like, I have a fondness for the original game, but I, haven't had a reason to come back to it for a couple of years, so that just landed for me perfectly. Hearing the old music again, or things like it, just got me really excited to see all those characters again.
Lorelai, how about yourself?
For me, it was honestly the announcement that a Rune Factory 6 is happening, because I was so worried it never would after the mess that 5 was on the Switch, so that actually got me really excited.
And for me, it was probably Pikmin. I'm a big Pikmin head, but again, like I said, I'm ready to be hurt again, so I want to try the Master Detective Archive, whatever the fuck it's called. I'm ready.
Yep.
Kodaka, just give it to me straight, alright, man? Just give it to me straight.
I also had weird, complex feelings when I saw Tears of a Kingdom, because I'm looking for a Zelda game that is story-heavy, and I didn't get that in the last one in a big way, and so I'm I still have faith. And this could be the big one for me.
Well, I don't give a shit about Zelda, so
no, that's fine. I feel that is totally fine.
All right, so let's real quick run down the rest of this stuff that was announced here. So there was the Sony State of Play. I'm not going to go beat by beat because I don't care. But they did show Tekken 8, which looks fucking cool. Looks really cool. There's that Pacific Drive game. I think one of you put this down. If you want to talk about it real quick.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to talk about when I saw Pacific Drive. It was like there's a couple of these games that have come out over the last couple of years. What's the zombie game in Oregon?
Days Gone.
Days Gone. Yeah,
I thought that was going to be Days Gone 2, and then it became a driving game.
There is a strange appeal that just keeps coming up from developers in the Northwest, not wanting to represent the cities they live in or anything. They just want to represent the idea of driving down a road and then going off of that road to drive your car through a forest. And
sure,
they're right. They're completely right. That is, when you are driving on I-5, the only road in the Pacific Northwest, you want to just take a left at any point and just be like, what's going on in this forest? This is right next to the highway. There's nothing stopping you. If you want to go become a Twin Peaks victim, you can just take a left at any moment. And so Pacific Drive takes a lot of what I was wanting out of Days Gone to another level and makes it real, aliens and more than zombies. Just the threat is so much more existential when you're looking at a dashboard that is covered in Back to the Future-esque meters, and you're some kind of ghost catcher or something. They don't tell you a lot of information, which is exactly what I want in a game vaguely called Pacific Drive. But it there's kind of a Death Stranding kind of feel and vibe to it, where it's a little bit of horror, a little bit of sci-fi, and a little folksy. And it just that spoke out to me real hard in the Sony Direct.
The trip that we went on with a friend of mine who I was in voice with watching that was, oh, is this a sequel to Days Gone? Oh, is this a Ghostbusters game? To suddenly just it went through 9 different, is this?
Uh-huh.
No, is this another Split Second? What the fuck is going on? That just looked incredible.
They showed Bandai Namco showed a new game called Sin Duality, which is a very anime-looking mech game, which does look pretty cool. I'm kind of stoked for that.
Yeah.
They got Stellar Blade, which was a game that used to be called Project Eve. That's a character action looking game with pretty ladies in it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Team Ninja announced a new game called Rise of the Ronin, which I did think was just going to be another Neo.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, but I mean, the way that they seem to be making this different is that, you know, Neo had like yokai and more mystical stuff. This one seems more quote unquote realistic. You're just playing as a Ronin, and it is set like during the times where, you know, the Europeans were coming over to Japan and like making those first connections, and Japan was quote unquote modernizing for the first time. So it is about those growing pains that Japan went through, trying to integrate with the rest of the world. Seems like a really interesting premise, though. Like straight up, like a really interesting premise. Coming out 2024. So this isn't a next year game. This is a 2 years from now game. But legit, pretty neat concept.
Yeah.
It showed another trailer for God of War Ragnarok.
I still couldn't stop laughing when they showed that, though, and they popped the fucking God of War controller on screen. That I thought they were going to close out the show with just the announcement of a fucking controller.
That would have been funny.
That would have been better.
It would have been. So yeah, and then they also had PlayStation Stars, which was this really weird like loyalty program that they're doing where you're going to be able to collect little, like, they just reminded me of Smash Bros trophies, but they're saying they're not NFTs, but they didn't really talk about like how you collected them. They said there were going to be like some campaigns here and there, but who fucking knows? I guess some Asian countries are going to be getting it, like I guess like, or, you know, the more like South Asian, like Singapore and stuff like that, Malaysia, that sort of thing. They'll usually get like those sorts of test locales. So we'll probably find out how that actually works once people from there mess around with it. And then the last thing that I'll mention, I will loop it back around to the Ryugaga Toku Summit, because they announced Like a Dragon Ishin at the State of Play, which is a remake of the Ishin game that came out on PS4 in 2014. We never got it over here, but now it is coming out over here. That is the game where you play as Kiryu, or not as Kiryu, you play as like his ancestor, I suppose, like an alternate time version of him. I think at the very least he is like a it is like he's a historical figure that they are like basically slotting Kiryu in as. It's a Sakamoto Ryoma. And this is not the other one. This is not Kenzan, which was when Kiryu where you played as Miyamoto Musashi, and in that game you marry the Haruka stand-in, which is not great. Not great. But in this one, you don't do anything of that sort. That is probably why they are localizing this one and not the other one.
Well, they could also be doing the other one because this isn't a localization. This is
it's a remake.
It's
completely remade.
Yeah, it's like when they did Yakuza 1 and 2.
The Kiwami, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is actually going to be made on Unreal Engine 4 and not the Dragon Engine, which is pretty surprising. They were basically saying like, yeah, we feel like the Dragon Engine's a little old. We might want to like rebuild it, like add some new stuff in, but for now we're going to use Unreal Engine 4. So we'll see how that goes. The other stuff that got announced there though is they announced 2 more games, and they're also basically just full on saying that these will not be Yakuza games now. The name Yakuza is no longer the name of this franchise in the States. They are just calling it Like a Dragon, much like how it is called Ryugaga Toku or Like a Dragon in Japan. They announced Like a Dragon Gaiden. I'm going to have to get used to this. Like a Dragon Gaiden, which is a game that fills in the story of what happened between Yakuza 6 and Yakuza 7, or I guess also Yakuza 8, or Like a Dragon 8, which we'll get to in a moment, of like how Kiryu got back involved in things. So it will be a game starring Kiryu. It will have the classic Yakuza gameplay, the beat 'em up style stuff. And they said it will be a shorter game than normal, because this is just going to be like a fill in the gap sort of thing. And then they confirmed Like a Dragon 8, which stars, of course, Ichiban and Kiryu. Kiryu is back as a main character.
And he has the bowl cut to prove it.
Yeah, he's got a gray bowl cut. He looks like a dweeb. It's very funny.
It's the shitty goatee that really completes the look.
It does. And yeah, they said that this will be an RPG. And Kiryu and Ichiban will each have separate parties. So that's pretty interesting. Personally, I'm a little torn here, because I absolutely love how they passed the torch in Yakuza 7 to Ichiban. It really felt like they felt confident in how Ichiban was going to be the main character from now on. And now Kiryu's back as a main character. And, again, I don't know how I feel about it, but maybe they will set things up well in Gaiden. Maybe they will do a really great story in 8. I'm ready to be proven wrong, but just from first blush, I feel a little weird about it. I was looking forward to just focusing on Ichiban, because I fucking love Ichiban, but we'll see. I still like Kiryu. I still love Kiryu. We'll see how it goes.
It's funny because it's just a logistics thing. They always do this with the Yakuza and the Like a Dragon games, where now that's the number's 8. So you have to do everything by 8s. In Yakuza 4, Yakuza 5, you had 4 Yakuza. You had 5 Yakuza. That was the whole deal. You played as 6 characters in Yakuza 6. Now, with 8, you have a party of 4 in the RPG style. And so you have to have 2 parties of 4, which means you have to have 2 leaders. I see that like all of these decisions came from like the one solitary main decision that they do in every single one of these. That's like, all right, we need to have 8 characters. How do we do this like normal? Because, Like a Dragon 7 was, all right, we have to have 7 characters. How do we do this? Well, let's make the entire thing be an RPG. We're just going to, like, you can basically make you can find the like design choices of every one of these decisions just from the sole purpose of like, how do we make 8 protagonists? All right, we have 2 parties of 4. Perfect. And then everything just kind of trickles down from there.
It's it seems weird, but
it always does.
And then of course TGS is happening as we speak, basically right now. So we don't have all the news, but we can run down the stuff that we know. We'll start off with the Capcom stuff. So they showed off a bunch of Street Fighter 6 stuff. Like, holy fuck, a lot of Street Fighter stuff. They confirmed the base roster. They just filled out the rest of it. Let me get like the list here.
Like,
so I get it
it's
right.
really cool that they were able to just go, no, we are going to sell you, like, the roster leaked. We're just going to confirm that, and we are going to sell you on the gameplay. Like, we're going to sell you on the fact that we actually have tons of single-player content and stuff like that. And holy shit, I am so excited for a Street Fighter game, and that feels weird to say after 5.
Yeah, let's run down it real quick here. So here's the full list here. So they showed off Blanca, Dalsim, Ken, and E Honda. They showed off how they play, their new designs and all that. And then they had an intro trailer where they showed Cammy, DJ, and Zangief, as well as new characters Lily, Manon, JP, and I think that's it. Yeah. I said 10? DJ, right? Yeah, I said DJ. But okay, yeah. Yep. So there are 18 characters in total, because they also have Chun-Li, Guile, Juri, Ryu, Luke, and Jamie. So yeah, so there's 18.
That's substantial.
18 characters in the base roster, which I think is the largest base roster for a new Street Fighter game.
Yeah.
Obviously, they'll do DLC and all that. But so they talked about how more of these modes will work. They showed the World Tour mode, which is the like open world going around doing stuff. You'll be able to train. You'll be able to make your own character and train with the different characters to learn their moves, and then you can even use their moves out in the city to like explore. Like they showed someone using Chun-Li's spinning bird kick to like fly across roofs, or you can teleport using Dalsim's teleport. Stuff like that. Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. We got the Fighting Ground, which is just like their standard local and online stuff. There is Battle Hub, which is their online modes. They're going to talk about that more. They showed training modes, which are fucking crazy. Like, they are very actively showing how frame data works. Like, there are going to be just, like, meters on the bottom of the screen that show you, like, the active frames, the damaging frames, and then when you're getting hit, your recovery frames. Like, they're just showing that to you now. With, like, no beating around the bush. You don't have to, like, look it up. You don't even have to, like, try to guess anything. They are just like, this is how long these last. This is how you play this game. There will be new trials that teach you how to do different mechanics, and they are like very specifically built around drills that professionals do. So they want you to learn how to play Street Fighter. This is all just this is how they want to treat this game now. There are different super combos, and they are also having the level gauges. Like, for example, if you use level 1, it'll be Shinku Hadouken for Ryu. For level 2, it'll be Shin Hashigaki, and then level 3 will be Shin Shoryuken for Ryu. So, like, depending on how much meter you have, that will be what you use. Just a lot of stuff that they have introduced here. It looks great. It looks fucking great. Like, they actually have, like, a big amount of content at launch for a Street Fighter game, and all of it looks fun.
It really does look like they learned all of their lessons, and it's definitely showing that it's been for the best that they have a new director in that spot, because ever since Ono left, like, Street Fighter V, like, drastically improved and kept improving over its lifespan. Like, Street Fighter V now is a legitimately good game.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6 is, like, the most excited I've been for a fighting game on release now. Like, just the way they have been selling it and showing, like...
They listened!
So much. Yeah.
They listened. Looks cool.
I almost feel bad for Tekken 8. Just, they announced their game, but, like, look, Street Fighter.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, the thing is that Street Fighter and Tekken really do coexist. Like, different people different people like those games for different reasons. And, you know, like, honestly, because Street Fighter 6 is confirmed to have rollback. As soon as Harada gets the stick out of his ass, like, bless Harada, you know, like, we love Tekken in this house, but also when he finally gives up and says, we're using rollback netcode, and they actually mean actual rollback netcode, that's really all they need. Like, seriously, that's all they need to do, and then people will be blindly excited for Tekken. That's it.
It's just always funny when you compare the two, because Street Fighter has such a past that's all over the place. Sometimes super high, sometimes super low. Tekken is so consistent. Usually it's like, these are great, fantastic games with like one thing that's a sticking point. And that's it. And that's like always how Tekken's been.
It's a process, but we'll see.
Yep.
They showed a bunch of stuff for Mega Man Battle Network Collection, the Legacy Collection. And they said the reason why it's taking so long is because they have added online multiplayer capabilities and chip trading to every single one of the games.
Whoa. That's big. That's a little bigger than like a remaster that we're used to.
Yeah, like they are adding straight up online, which is really cool because they are recognizing that there is a competitive Battle Network like community out there. Like, and you know, they're using like emulated versions of the games, you know, to play because they can, you know, put online into an emulator way easier than anything else. But now they're just like, yeah, we want you to do this officially. Like, from what I saw, Capcom straight up recognized those competitions like earlier. They were just like they didn't put a stop to them, which is really cool that they're just like, yeah, we want you to play this stuff online even if you're using ROMs and everything because,
whoa,
you know, this is a cool way that you're celebrating our franchise. And now they are just straight up being like, yeah, we're going to let you do it officially because we know that there's a market for it. And, you know, as long as this has rollback, then it's going to be great, you know, and then chip trading online is really cool. The only thing that they didn't confirm, which I hope they do, is that there are some things for like some of the later games that had like online like special download code sorts of things basically, and they haven't confirmed that stuff is going to come to this game, you know, but there has been it's like special chips and all that sort of thing. They haven't confirmed that yet, but you know, people express interest at TGS for it, so I would not be surprised if they don't do that. Another little cool thing about it, though, is that the menu has a 3D Mega Man.exe on it, voiced by the original voice actor from the anime. And he's just, like, there to be your little buddy as you go through the menu. It's really cool. Like, this is, you know, like those other Legacy collections are really good collections, but this really feels like it has maybe the most love out of all of them. Like, this is such a celebration of Battle Network, and I'm excited for the Battle Network fans to get it. I'm excited to play it because, you know, I've played a chunk of Battle Network 3, and I really liked it. And this just seems like a way better way to play it, and it's going to have all kinds of improvements, and it's so cool that this exists the way that it does.
It's amazing to see, just because Battle Network, that community is so supportive of anything, whether it's a fan game, whether it's something inspired by Battle Network. Like, they just love this stuff, and to see the developers not only be like, we see you, but we also respect and emulate how much you all love this series too. Yeah, we want to make this as good as possible in ways that maybe even the community would go like, wow, I didn't believe that they could even do that. That was even possible for them to do.
Like, honestly, I do kind of wish, though, that if they were going to get a Mega Man to help you navigate the menus, they got the one from Captain and the Game Master.
Lorelei, you're alone on that.
Just you are alone on that, Mega Man.
You're off on this. What?
Maybe someone can edit him in. You could be like, Mega High, play Battle Network.
Going into the options menu.
Get some like really shitty sounding Uberduck takes in there. One last thing before I let you go, Lorelei. Kojima is also really heavily teasing his next project, which leaks have shown to be a game that is being funded by Microsoft, because he went to TGS and there was, you know, like a bunch of pictures of him hanging out with Phil Spencer, which is especially funny because Kojima was very obviously more excited to be wearing a Licorice Recoil shirt than to be hanging out with Phil Spencer. God bless. He was talking about how excited he was that he got some Licorice Recoil merch at TGS and all that. Like, he's just a huge fan of the show for some reason.
That's darling.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's very cute. And, you know, honestly, if he's watching this and maybe taking some notes on how to write women, that would be great. But the other thing, too, though, is that there was a teaser poster for something that seems to be a Kojima thing. And the rumors are saying that he is making a new horror game with Microsoft, starring Margaret Qualley, you may know as the actress who played Mama in Death Stranding. So, Yeah, I mean the poster, the front of the poster, the character on that does look like Margaret Qualley. Like she has like the same. It's a silhouette, but it looks very similar to like her character model from Death Stranding. So
okay,
yeah.
I was wondering why that looked so familiar. Thank you.
Yeah, that is probably her. That is just a tease for the new game. There is like a website that seems to be sort of like an ARG sort of thing, because of course it's Kojima. But who knows? Who knows when we're going to hear more of that? Maybe someone will crack the ARG. Maybe someone will find some stuff. Or maybe they'll just put up a trailer eventually. Who knows? But for now, yeah, we've got some new stuff from Kojima. And there was another thing. So Konami was there, and they said we are announcing a new game in a beloved franchise. And of course, a lot of us were worried that, oh god, this is going to be the Blooper Team Silent Hill. Oh no, there was some rumors that there's going to be like a remake of Twin Snakes for some reason, which I really hope they don't do. But there was a leak going around pretty recently that like I think some voice actors who had done some work on Suikoden in the past were gearing up for some stuff. And it finally came around. They did their big showcase, and a remaster of the first two Suikoden games was announced. And yeah, I know, Lorelai, this is like your favorite franchise, so go off, Queen.
So I'm just gonna say, I saw you tweet about Suikoden rumors right before the announcement was made, and I was literally in the middle of replying to you with LOL as if, and then my timeline refreshed and I saw all of my Suikoden friends suddenly come alive, and I was like, wait, what? I
like the sound that your Suikoden friends are coming alive, like they've are exiting the crypt for the first time in years. The bones are rattling and the dust is coming off. Like, I'm back.
I still have trouble believing that wasn't a dream, because, like, honestly,
Aww.
all of us had given up. Konami, when like all of the things around like Bloober Team Silent Hill and Metal Gear remasters, those are what everyone expected, because they were teasing like, hey, we're going to have a remaster. Nobody expected Suikoden. Like, none of my Suikoden friends on Twitter, like, all of us were still just talking about Final Fantasy XIV and what we might see at the Square Enix presentation or whatever. We just didn't care. Like, we're not going to watch the Konami thing. It doesn't matter. And then, like, mind just completely exploded, because there are things about this that are kind of incredible. The entire reason it exists is because of the success of the Eiyuden Chronicle Kickstarter. But not just that, but Murayama, who was the original creator that did the Eiyuden Chronicle stuff, going to Konami and like pushing them to do these remasters. So not only are him and like Junko Kawano, the artist from the original, who did all the Suikoden art from 1 through 5, all of the Suikoden art forever, redid all the portraits in the game. Like,
they
did
really
all
nice.
New art for the game. Like,
yeah.
So the Eiyuden Chronicle people are working on these remasters at the same time their own spiritual successor is coming out.
It's really funny, and like, I said this, and I mean, I don't know how serious I am with this, but like, honestly, it would be kind of fitting if at this point Konami just went, you know what, we're gonna foot whatever bills you need to finish Eiyuden Chronicles, but let's just call it Suikoden 6. Fuck it. Like, yeah. They should just do that at this point, honestly.
It's incredible just how, like, and Konami is excited about it. Like, there's this great photo lineup of like all of their booth babes and whatnot but it's fully concentrated, like right front and center are the 3 gambler cosplayers they have there, where you can go, and if you can win a round of Chinchirorin against the gamblers of the first 2 games, you can win pins and
That's
stuff
cute.
with the new character portraits on them. And it's just like, so, like, first of all, I'm really happy because some of my friends are there and they are getting me pins of the characters that I love most.
There you go.
But just like seeing the just pure jubilation and excitement over the last couple of days from myself and my friends who had given up. Like, one of my friends ran the biggest Suikoden wiki forever and just completely shifted it to an Eiyuden Chronicle one. Got rid of all the Suikoden stuff because we were all so just like, Konami is never going to respect us. They don't respect video games. They don't respect their history. And like, all of a sudden, now it's back, and he had to open an Eiyuden Chronicle wiki as well to run both of those because he had to bring back all the old data. And it's just like this sudden resurgence. Like, my timeline is covered with fan art that I haven't seen in years, and just
That's nice.
Joy and excitement, and like the Konami people saying all the right things, which could just be PR, but it legitimately sounds like they actually care more about making Suikoden a thing again than just like, doing this as a cash grab or whatever.
Right. If Konami's making moves and they're landing with the audiences, that has to be coming from a genuine place, because Konami's PR is awful. It's really bad.
Yeah. And doing
so when they land, it's like, wow, that's yes, finally you're listening.
And it's doing it in the right way too, because there's one thing about Suikoden that I absolutely love. I legitimately think it has the best sprite work, 2D sprites in an RPG for character expression and stuff like, and animation and stuff like that, of any game. Legitimately, especially Suikoden 2, where it got 10 times better and more expressive and just absolutely stunningly gorgeous. They left that alone. Like, it's still the original. Yeah, they're just doing
they're just touching up the backgrounds, and they're redoing the script also, which
yes,
like you said, and I've seen some other people say, like, the original scripts for Suikoden 1, at the very least, like 2 also as well, maybe, but like those original scripts are rough, and like there are some classic lines that people reference.
All this killing in front of a children is just the absolute classic, but it's, the original game was machine translated pretty much, like literal. The original game is what I point to whenever anyone says like a literal translation is so much better, it's so disrespectful to localize things, and I'm like, look at Suikoden 1. That was a literal machine translation, and like you had lines like, I chose to be a woman instead of a leader. And it's like, that was not what the line in the original game meant at all. It's just like, it's going to be really nice to actually get back to that. And then there's stuff from Suikoden 2 where the original Japanese was like explicitly queer about one character, but in the US version they changed it to, she has a lot of fans. All of them are women. And it's just stuff like that, to have that gone. Like, the names of weapons are going to change because, it's not the Star Dragon Sword, it's not supposed to be the Star Dragon Sword, it's the Celestial Blade. But Star Dragon Sword just sounds cooler, I guess. I'm so excited for it. Just, an updated translation, which those games desperately needed, especially Suikoden 2, because there's so much that is just left like symbols, because they just didn't localize some lines of dialogue. So it just garbled it into mush. And stuff like that. Just like having and there's glitches in Suikoden 2 where entire battles the music doesn't play, which sucks because it's incredible music, but there's music on the soundtrack that does not appear in the game. But that's both the English and Japanese versions because they programmed it wrong and never fixed it.
Yeah, so they're gonna fix it. But no, yeah, this is really cool. I mean, Suikoden was definitely a franchise that was on my list, but as someone who likes to buy old games, I was going to be like, all right, I'll buy one of these like here and there because it's going to be like a purchase. But now they're doing these remakes, these remasters, and so it'll be easier to play. It's coming out on like pretty much everything, like Steam, Switch, PS5, PS4, Xbox, all that. So, yeah, you're going to be able to play these games in a really nice way. Because, like you said, I'm coming at this as someone who hasn't played these games, but, like, knows that they're excellent. This remaster does just look really fucking good. Like, yeah, those new backgrounds are gorgeous, and then the original sprites are really nice, and the new portraits look really good. And I'm just excited to play, like, a definitive, really good version of these games that haven't been fucked up by machine translation or like any faulty programming. And they have straight up said like, yeah, we are planning on like they didn't say we're planning, but like they're interested in making more games in the future, whether that's an actual Suikoden 6 or like more remasters, which I hope they do more remasters because like Suikoden 5 is like $300 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this is a really nice thing. Like as the Yu-Gi-Oh community would say, rare Konami W.
Yeah,
because like Konami's pretty frustrating with Yu-Gi-Oh, but whatever. It's cool. It's legit really cool. Like for the fans, for people like me who want to get into the franchise, it's just it is an excellent move, and I am happy that they're doing it.
And arguably, it's the two best games you could start with. Like, I know it's doing it in order, but like those two, like especially Suikoden 2, like for a lot of people is one of the best games of all time. Mm-hmm. It's like my third favorite in the franchise, but like it's an incredible frickin' game. Like especially like the first is great. But you can see it's a foundation to test and see if they are able to do what they wanted to do with 2. And then it just takes off and adds so much more and so much more depth and character writing. And like it goes from a 14-hour game to a 30. It's like really like amazingly crafted. And just having it back, and like, it's kind of wild seeing the same people go from there directly to the 505 announcement and show off all the new Eiyuden Chronicle stuff too, which finally has gameplay trailers and stuff like that. Wow. Holy shit, the music is incredible. Like that morning was feeding me.
I was going to say, yes, Suikoden fans are eating, like, of all of the different groups of people, if you told me, hey, Japan's going to, like, announce 500 games this week, I would not have guessed Suikoden or the Battle Network series. That's amazing. These are smaller communities, but they finally get their time in the sun.
The fact that 3/4 of their booth is dedicated to Suikoden is wild to me. Because the rest of it is, the usual Pro Evolution Soccer and, all the other stuff that they have there that, and booth babes over on that side. And then over here, you just got a couple of grizzly ass cosplayers like rolling dice with people with like all the concept art all over the walls. It's
wow, they do care. Oh,
it's like wild to see the biggest chunk of a Konami booth being Suikoden in 2022.
It's
oh
yeah,
God.
No, it's very wild.
Now everybody gets to meet the origin of literally the name I took. And you get to be told, you're weak and to come back when you're stronger.
I'm excited to finally play them.
I'm so excited.
Otherwise, I would have had no idea how to like get access to Suikoden and play them. Otherwise, other than other means, you know.
I mean, it would have been me driving discs up to you, but
yeah.
And I'll still, if you want to do it until we beat, I still got 3, 4, and 5.
What would that be? That would be like 80 hours. That'd be like 90 hours of games. Aren't these long?
Only 3 and 5 are long. The others are very beatable, but 3 is long and 5 can be long. But
what, like 100 hours?
Nah, like 5 took me 60 my first time through.
God damn. Okay.
3 was also about that, but 1, 2, 4 is about 16. 1 is like 14. 2 is like, the usual like Super Nintendo RPG length, like Final Fantasy VI length. Like 4 is short because you have a really slow boat, and if they made you go more than those like 16 to 20 hours, it would become even more intolerable.
Yep.
Like, I love 4, but holy hell, that boat is slow. But it gets in, it gets out.
Congratulations, Lore.
Oh, God. I'm so fucking happy right now.
So that was 99 minutes about 99 different games.
With 100, one of them has 100 characters in it.
Yeah. 108.
We talked about every one of them.
Yeah.
So that was Chooch at its most efficient. Congratulations, John, by the way, on holy shit, that was a lot of games.
Yeah, we went through a lot here. So yeah, we've also talked about some of the stuff that we're going to talk about already. So there you go. We cleaned up a little bit. Solon, tell us about PAX, because PAX happened. You went to PAX.
Yeah.
Hit us.
So I know we just talked about like a bazillion games, but like there were more at PAX, and the more that they were kind of covering was a completely different side of games than what all of these other press conferences and all of these other like big events have been covering. What I saw at PAX, it was me feasting. Like Lorelai got to eat yesterday. I got to eat 2 weeks ago at PAX because it was all Western indie games. It was all indie games from all over the place. Not even all Western. There was a couple of just amazing games. There was one called Mato Anomalies that really impressed me. And they're a Chinese developer that are trying to make a Persona / Yakuza kind of game, and pulling it off kind of handily. Like they're doing cool stuff with it, and it's just from a small development team out of China. And I was very fucking impressed that they came all the way out to Seattle to come show off their game as part of a small publishing booth. It was kind of incredible because like the expo hall of PAX was probably 90% publishers, which meant that every single one of these booths had 4 or 5 games in them. And as I was running press, that meant that Franny and I were going from booth to booth, basically trying to find what the most interesting game out of all of those was. And so it was, we basically, with our PAX coverage that we're doing over this next couple of weeks, is we're going to give you a curation of the coolest games that were at PAX. And those games, like, they could announce them, but they're not going to make a splash. You really have to like see them and sit down with them to kind of get the full like breadth of everything. And so we're going to show that firsthand, what that looks like. We talked to devs, we talked to publishers. There was so much to learn from that experience too. Because like I have underestimated the relationship between developers and publishers in such a big way. Every time we talk to a dev, they talked about all the things the publishers did to make their game real that they would not have been able to do. Like, usually it's something like music, voice acting, just generally playing it to help with content, to make the content snappier. Then there was also on the publisher side, people talking about how these devs, the devs that they work with, they want to work with for a long time. And so they do a lot to make sure that they can put out their games, but also then continue that relationship to put out more games. Like there's a very new, I feel like this is very new, a new kind of relationship between these that is like this mutualism, this communalism, that feels organic. And maybe it's not like the best way or the highest way, but like it was a beautiful thing to see in action. And you see it in action when you're on the PAX Expo floor. As far as games go, there were a lot of really cool games that came from all over the place. I think some of my highlights, I would say, was seeing Colossal Cave, which was a VR game and a Switch game. So Switch and VR, which sounds like tough, but it makes sense for what this is. Colossal Cave was a game from 1976, I want to say. So one of the first text parser games, and they've lovingly remade it. And I got to talk with Roberta Williams, the developer on this game, but also the developer of the King's Quest games. And she told me about that experience and about how you translate a game in the modern era for such a different audience, and how Colossal Cave kind of achieves that, because instead of typing into stuff, you have to show players the wide breadth of options that you have with a first-person heads-up display, and it has like almost no UI. So like it's a completely different challenge. And while I think Colossal Cave is going to look kind of different than what maybe a lot of gamers are going to be expecting out of a modern game, I very much believe that the history inside of that game and the weird ways that it kind of envelops that is going to be really exciting for people and get a lot of people to look at those old text parser games in a completely different way. And so that was hype. That was exciting. Just a concatenation of a lot of history all in one place. I'm trying to think. One of the things that none of our coverage is going to get into this, and so this is just a podcast exclusive. There were a lot of mech games, and the one that everyone was excited for on the show floor was very fucking frustrating. This had me pissed off to no end, because there were great mech games on the floor, and then there was one that did not tell you that it is entirely about selling NFTs. They gave us the press email that said, "Hey, come play our game Metalcore." Terrible name, by the way. Fucking awful. Like, that's a music genre that's not even about mechs. Like, fucking, I wish them the worst. They're a bunch of ex-devs, like AAA devs who were like, "We're gonna make an indie thing," and that's what their press said. It's like, we're cutting it out on our own. We're making our indie game, and it's about mechs. It's the dream game. And nothing in their press said anything until you go to their website and see it's entirely about crypto. This is a crypto game with crypto microtransactions. It's a free-to-play mech game, asterisk. And so I take like literally 4 steps to the left from this giant audacious mech that's just standing there. It looks so boring and bland. And there's this little studio. It's not even little. They have a long history, actually. They're making a game called Galahad 3093. And Galahad is a game where, get this, you pay for the game up front, and then they give you the rest of it free. You own it now. They're making a mech game that's actually one that I like, because I'm not a big mech fan. I find them very bulky and hard to control. That's kind of the charm and love of it, and it's not my thing. Whereas Galahad is combining the design challenges between mechs and hero-based shooters, so your Overwatch type of stuff, and kind of making a little PB&J out of them. And it's so fun, very playable. I was able to just jump in and not only do cool mech shit, but also do like cool base strategizing with my team and figuring out how we're going to make an assault on the enemy base, and all while in this like Technicolor nightmare of a mech that I designed. It was cool. It was very hype. So I don't have to talk about that other game because one of my big highlights was Galahad 39.3, which just came out. They just put it out on early access for PAX. And so it was really cool seeing how PAX is kind of establishing a lot of developers, and it's back is basically the short story, right? PAX is back, and not only is it back, it looks almost on accident completely different from how it used to look, but way more in the spirit of how PAX wanted to look at the very inception. Like, this is completely not E3-2. This is a place where I got to meet developers who they were there because they were courting publishers. They, paid $2,000 for a booth, and with the explicit and express goal that we are going to talk to all the publishers here, and we're going to show them our game on the con floor. And it's like, wow, that's an amazing way to see how business is moving. And it's a niche that you could only see in this kind of space. You wouldn't be able to see that, online. It's harder to get your stuff out there when it's just an email that you're sending to somebody. And yeah, so we had a great time. I think that there's a lot of games that I'm excited to show people. And every single like booth had 2 or 3 different things that were just like, wow, these are wild games. There was a wrestling game that was a RPG. They made a little Paper Mario game. It's not even little. That's called WrestleQuest. And WrestleQuest had like wrestlers there showing the games off for a whole bunch of people. It was like, wow, this is not like PAX used to be, but it also is something completely different. And it's exactly what I would dream of PAX to be. Fun gimmicks, everyone's trying their best, and it has just so much heart to it. So I'm hoping that we can kind of show off what that was like in our video footage.
God, that sounds so exciting. Like, I've seen one preview you posted, and I'm really excited for people to be able to watch your video coverage. Like, it's gonna be real good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, how do you play those games while holding a conversation? Like, looking away from the screen and not missing a beat. It's like, well, I wish I was good at video games.
It's so weird interviewing while playing a video game because, like, I how we designed these interviews, I'm playing the game, trying to learn the game, and trying to interview about the game with the developer, trying to not look like such a like fool at the same time as all this. It's a lot. And it is a skill that I can continue to work on, and I want to continue working on it because, like, while you're in the middle of trying to learn and play a game, the easiest thing to say is, wow, that was cool. How'd that work? And I mean, that is one way to get a conversation going, but it was cool to see, and I hope people kind of see this through our coverage, that like the first 5-10 minutes of an interview is a lot of like groundwork. And then as both me and the person I'm talking to get more comfortable with each other, we start to open up more. There was one moment where Franny like was like, all right, we wrapped up the interview. We stopped talking. So we turned off all the cameras and we stopped recording. And then me, and this was with Dread XP's publishers, me and her like talked about publishing for like another 15 minutes, just, standing up and hanging out. And then Franny looked at me and was like, you fucker, why did you not tell me to keep recording? And I'm like, you're right. Shit. I'm sorry that we had an interesting conversation.
Yeah, you gotta make sure all those are caught.
Yep. It's just one of those things where it's like, as we got more comfortable with each other, as we got the interview kind of rolling, you don't want that to end, but we also only have, 15, 20 minutes to do this before we have to move on to the next thing, because there's only so much time in the day, and they've got stuff to do and I've got stuff to do. So like, it's such a weird quasi professional, but kind of fun social space. And there's 50 different things happening all at once.
Yeah.
I'm like cutting out out of the footage, like all of these bits where like someone else is coming in, waiting for their interview, that there's other people like moving around, and the developers trying to show them the game also while we're doing our thing. And I'm trying not to like take up all the space, but also I'm pressed, so I do have to demand a little bit of space for us, because we're important too, which is cool. We're important now. Yeah, there wasn't anyone else at PAX doing what we were doing, so I'm taking that as a sign that we're on the right path somewhere.
All right. Is there anything else you want to shout out before we move on a little bit? Because I'm gonna have to cut some of this news here, or at the very least speed run it.
Speed running's fine.
Yeah, we'll speed run it. There's a couple that I can't talk about yet, which I'm excited about. Like, we got coverage of games that are on embargo that are gonna the embargo is gonna run out right when I put the videos out, and that's fucking cool.
Good. Lorelei, you can go ahead and talk about some other games that you want to talk about real quick.
Yeah, I'll go really quick with these. Like, I played the Valkyrie Elysium demo. Very good. I think it's got bad pacing though, because it opens you with a tutorial area that gives you a shitload of abilities and like all this stuff to play with, and then it sends you out in the world and takes all that away. But the tutorial area makes me really excited for what that game's going to be as you get further into it. And then another thing that was a TGS announcement, but Team Ninja finally announced the title for their Dynasty Warriors Neo, and it's Wo Long Fallen Dynasty, and they also put out their first beta for it right then, and boy, it feels good. Like, it feels like even better than Neo 2. And also, like, you can give your character pronouns. And the character creator also, like Neo 2, fucking whips ass. Like, absolutely fantastic. Even in a limited form, I spent 2 hours making a character last night. And the gameplay is really good, which makes Final Fantasy Origin feel even more disappointing, because, like, I loved that game, but when I go back to Neo, I go, this is what those games should have been, although the Steam page calls it the new Maso Core title from the developers of Neo, and I did not know that Maso Core was apparently a thing. Anyway, that's everything I've been playing.
Sure. Yeah, we already talked about Xenoblade, so I don't have to talk about what I've been playing. Okay. Speed run, let's go.
Yeah, finish the fight. You got this.
EVGA has stopped making graphics cards because working with NVIDIA was bad. The quote here is that they wouldn't even entertain the idea of working with Intel or AMD, continue making cards. Their decision is said to be about respect.
Yeah, it's really fucked up, the things NVIDIA was doing.
The relationship between EVGA and NVIDIA changed from what EVGA considered a true partnership to a customer-seller arrangement, whereby EVGA was no longer consulted on new product announcements, not featured at events, and not informed of price changes.
Oh, well, then, yeah, that's bad business.
Yeah, really bad business. They are just not going to fuck with them anymore. This might make graphics cards expensive again, because this is a big shift here. But we'll see. Pretty weird.
There's a lot of NVIDIA producers.
Yeah, and they are still going to produce the 30 lines, they just aren't going to be making anything in the 40s. And they still have enough stock on hand for, like, all refund, if people need warranty repair, they're going to keep that for as long as they're in business.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the sky is falling, it's just a very big sea change. EVGA is, like, one of the biggest NVIDIA, when you get a graphics card, it's covered in letters. There's like 50 different letters, and they all mean different things. And EVGA is kind of the biggest one of those. You don't have graphics cards without them. And so that means that the other people that sell NVIDIA graphics cards are going to have more place, I guess. But also NVIDIA needs to figure their shit out. They've been taking advantage of everybody across the board for years now. And like, this is a huge sign.
It's a weird thing going on, for sure.
Yeah.
So Overwatch news here. I'm not going to go too far into all the stuff that they've been announcing because I don't care. They did first off reveal a new character who is another Japanese ninja because they don't know what the fuck they're doing, or they do know, they're just idiots. But the funny thing that got announced is that Overwatch 2 is going offline on October 2nd, and there will be a 27-hour time period where Overwatch 1 will be down before Overwatch 2 turns on, because they're, like, doing service stuff. So there will be a 27-hour period in the world where Overwatch no longer exists. And
beautiful.
Wow.
That is just a funny concept, I feel. It is just
hallelujah.
No
nature
Overwatch.
Is healing.
Yeah. It'll be like that, like, couple of weeks where we had the, like, big pandemic shutdown and it, like, very slightly reversed, like, the climate, like 0.0001%. It was just like, yeah, if we just did this, it's that, but it's for Overwatch. Very, very funny. It's a very funny concept. Speaking of things shutting down, hey, you remember Babylon's Fall?
No, remind me.
That was that was the Square Enix and Platinum game that looked like shit.
That's right.
That literally ripped models from Final Fantasy XIV for their armor sets.
Yeah, so that did come out March 3rd this year. It's shutting down already. It's going to shut down on February 28th, so it's not even going to last a year.
That's like barely 6 months.
No, it's a full year.
It's a full year, February. They announced the shutdown today, but the shutdown's in February. That's weird that you announce a shutdown like after 6 months, and then there's still 6 months. Like, what are they going to do for the next 6 months? They already announced they're shutting down.
Well, nobody's playing it, so that's why.
Yeah.
There are still like 4 people on Steam.
Yeah, they're probably legitimately hoping that there will be a handful of people who will hop on and try it while it's still active, but yeah, it's not going to last much longer. There was an update for Deltarune, Chapter 3, 4, and 5. The basic premise is that they are working on Chapter 3, 4, and 5 all at the same time. They've got here, I'll just read some stuff here. Between 3, 4, and 5, we've exceeded a chapter's worth of bullets, cutscenes, and gimmicks. The next chapters had certain aspects that took a while to set up, but now that those things are in place, the development of the game is only going to get smoother. There is a few tidbits of music that was shared on the Deltarune website. They talked about how you'll basically have just like a day to hang out with Susie. The castle town will have more stuff going on. Like, you'll be able to visit the different rooms of different characters. Like, they had like a little tidbit of a queen's room. You can go hang out with her real quick and talk to her. And as we speak, this will be over by the time you hear this, but there was a Spamton sweepstakes where they are raising money for Child's Play. And if you donate money... you don't actually have to donate money to get put in a raffle, but there's just a bunch of potential prizes, and as more money is raised, they are showing off more prizes. So far, they have revealed Spamton socks, Spamton toilet paper, Spamton worm on the string, a Spamton championship belt, which is one of the worst things I've ever seen. It has Spamton pogging on it. The Spamton After Not Surviving, which is just a jar with sand and 2 ping pong balls in it that is labeled Spamton After Not Surviving.
After not surviving what? Like a nuclear blast or something?
After not surviving.
Yeah, that turns you to sand.
There is a Lancer cookie, which I guess is non-edible.
No, of course not.
There is the authentic cardboard box, which is the box that Noelle wore in Chapter 2. There is the Spamkey candle, Spampton scented candle, which does say that it smells like my ass.
There
is a banana that seems to be in resin. There is a nurse costume for Ralsei, which I guess is going to just be available for purchase later. And a Your Best blank heart locket that is just the locket that came with the Undertale special edition, but it says Spampton's still the best 1997 on it and has a picture of Spampton inside of it. They are continuing to unlock prizes as the money is raised. The final prize does say Spampton body pillow, which is extremely scary. They are raising money for Child's Play, and there are actually a bunch of secret pages on the website now. I haven't gotten to look too deeply into it, but they seem to be little secrets that are for Deltarune chapters in the future. I'm sure that someone has like a Reddit post all ready for that. And
it's so fun.
It is
what
fun.
An incredible little thing.
Rules. Yeah, it rules. If you win, I guess they're gonna read off who won on a live stream in a little bit. Which I hope I win. Not necessarily because I want a prize, but because the message I put in was just the word sewer, and I want them to have to acknowledge John Machonsky donated $15 and just wrote the word sewer. So that is what I want to happen. Spampton. And our last bit of news is a bummer here. It is the continued tumultuousness of the games industry. Two game news and otherwise groups have been hit by big ol' layoffs. It seems like Fanbyte is basically completely shutting down. That is Tencent here, owns them, and it just seems like pretty much all of them are getting laid off. I think there's like a handful of people still there. It was very sudden. It says their editor-in-chief, head of media, features editor, social editor, news editor, graphics designer, podcast producer, and several of their writers have all gotten fired. Pretty much out of nowhere. Fucking nuts.
Fanbyte's been extremely successful. It's a sudden change.
And G4 TV have a lot of folks have gotten let go from there. This only just recently relaunched as a Twitch stream and a TV channel on Comcast. That they came back November of last year. And there have been some reports that they're just struggling financially, so they're cutting costs here. And I mean, at the very least, staff is either getting 16 weeks or 6 months severance pay, based on how long they've been working for Comcast. It's. I will say this one definitely seems less of a surprise. No offense, because G4. It seems like it did seem like a really odd relaunch. Very, very, very random that it came back, and it did feel like they didn't fully know what they were doing with it. It seemed really
part of their programming was just like it used to be with the old G4 style, and then a huge swath of it was just reaction videos and covering events, which is okay, but it's not a backbone to anything, and so they kind of got too spread out and didn't really have enough focus on how they were going to engage their main core with YouTube, with Twitch, with different news audiences. It's weird because the people want this, but G4 did not know how to get it out to the people who want this. So yeah, that one is less surprising. But still just
still
sad.
Shame.
Just like,
still a shame.
Really, my heart is breaking for all the folks that are involved in this, because they've put their heart and soul into things that, legitimately changed the games industry at large and games journalism, which has been on its heels for a couple of years now in big ways. And now it just, you look at what's going on with Fanbyte and you go, well, if they can't fucking get it done, what do we do? Like, yeah, it hurts. It hurts.
We'll see how things shake out, but yeah, it's a shame when stuff like this happens, for sure. All right, well, that does it for news and everything else. We do have one last question here, and that is being sent to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. If you want to send in the question, go ahead and send it there. Cello Buster asks, if there was a Chooch-themed asymmetrical survival game, Kurt is the hunter, and he gives you a big ol' sloppy kiss, what would your talent be as a survivor?
Ooh. All right, how am I going to survive Kurt giving me a sloppy kiss? Good question.
Solon, I think you would have some sort of like motivating power, because you're always so positive. So I could see you,
I'm the an assist character, someone who, like, I've got those funny little rhythm mini games that pop up, and I make it easier for all of y'all to get the kill on Kurt or whatever we're doing. Are we killing Kurt?
No, I think usually stuff like that is just like trying to escape.
Yeah, Kurt puts, one of you on the big hook of love, very kindly and softly, and I have to do some funny little dance to pull you off, but mine's like quick,
Mm-hmm.
Give you this. You can get off of the hook that's sapping your strength. You got this. Kurt can't sloppy kiss you anymore.
Yeah, you're definitely like letting us do things faster, or just like giving us plus 10% or whatever. Let's see. I mean, I don't have to assign them. Christine or Lorelai, do you have one that you have come up with, perhaps?
I can draw upon the strength of 108 men and women.
Yes, Lorelai is the powerhouse of Chooch. This is my headcanon, and I don't know why no one else agrees with me ever, but she is the tallest and biggest and strongest of all of us.
I see.
And yeah, so her individual talent is
and I can
things.
Also summon a punk rock beaver that starts playing a butt rock fucking metal battle theme for the whole of the fight.
Good ult.
What would be my power? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, John, you're, editor-in-chief, leader of the whole dang thing. But you can't be a support person either, because you just gave that to me. And that would be, too many supports for one meta.
I mean, there's different types of support. Maybe I could do some kind of healing thing. But
No. You got to do damage. I need you to wreck house. I need to be able to pick John and wreck house with the asymmetrical survival game.
Yeah, maybe I have some kind of
You build obstructions or something, or
maybe. I mean, maybe I could have some kind of like turret type thing. I like to play as engineer in TF2, or I think it's also engineer in Deep Rock Galactic, but you make turrets in that. I don't know. I'm a turret guy. Sure,
you're a turret guy.
I could do that. I could set up some turrets and like maybe some sort of like healing dispenser thing.
That makes sense. That's how you engage with all of us, is you send us out on missions, and that makes sense. You're a builder.
Sure. All right, that works. All right, well, I think that about does it. Is there anything else y'all want to mention real quick before we wrap up?
Yeah, Chooch themed asymmetrical survival game coming out 2024. Look out for it.
Don't promise that. That is not true.
Oh shit! Right, I'm fine. You caught me. I lied. It was my two truths and a lie.
That is not true. Folks, you can find us at videogamechoochoo.com. It's our website. We post everything. You can follow us on Twitter at VGCC, Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com, Facebook.com/videogamechoochoo, YouTube.com/videogamechoochoo, and Twitch.tv/VGCC. All those places and more, you can find us. If you want to support us, go to Patreon.com/VGCC. It's just $3 a month to gain access to everything that we're doing. We're again still planning on what we're gonna do for charged stuff that's only on the Patreon. But hey, if you have any ideas, let us know. And you can go to our Discord server, thegamezone.zone. You type that into your web browser, it'll bring you straight there. We've been experimenting with those forums, and I think they're pretty nice. We're able to kind of put things into different little spots, and it makes conversations cleaner. I feel I like that concept. I like that they added that to Discord. It's cool. We have our theme song is Crush off of the album Magic is Real by meltchannel/Magic Circuit. You can go listen to their stuff and buy it at meltchannel.bandcamp.com or magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. Lorelei, where can people find you?
You can find me at twitter.com/JudgmentScythe and twitch.tv/JudgmentScythe, where I'm exactly 1 week away from actually streaming on a schedule.
Nice.
It's wild.
It's time.
It's time. It begins.
Solon, how about you?
Hey, you can find me at ChorbySP, my streaming persona, where I'm on twitch.tv/ChorbySP and twitter.com/ChorbySP. We can keep up with all my updates, and that'll be where I'm posting about all the PAX stuff as I'm going through it.
Mm-hmm. And you can find me at JOHN_MICHONSKI on Twitter. And that's kind of it, because that's what I use. Thank you so much, folks. And that'll do it. Just to give you all a fair warning as well, in 3 more episodes, it'll be 69-6. So if you want to ask us relationship or sex questions, of course, it's that time again, folks. The least qualified individuals in the world to answer those questions. Send them in. Just make sure you make it obvious that it's for that episode. We'll give a bigger announcement when it comes around. But of course, just start thinking it up. So you got less than a month. And we will be back next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast, though. So we'll see you then. And stop.